Good evening, everyone. How are you doing today? It's actually Sunday evening. I don't normally record this time, but I was just talking with some friends about our book, One Rental at a Time, and mentioned that a few months back, we were actually recommended by Forbes as one of the 15 essential books. And my friend was like, have you talked about it? And no, not really. I don't do a good job of self-marketing, of patting ourselves on the back. I don't like the, look at me kind of stuff. So instead of doing that, I thought what I would do is bring up the article and talk about all 15 books that were recommended. And yes, One Rental at a Time is on the list. We will give it its due, but we'll talk about the other 14 books. Of the other 14, well, I guess including mine, I think I've read 10 or 11 of them. I will share what I thought of the ones I've read, clearly highlight the ones I haven't, add them to my reading list, and see. But again, to have a self-published book, One Rental at a Time, on the list with things like Rich Dad Poor Dad, with E-Myth, Who Moved My Cheese, books that really have changed my life, is just amazing. And to be recommended by Forbes in the Real Estate Council was just awesome and an honor I won't soon forget. But let's talk about all 15 of the books on the essential list. Let me share that with you. All right, so hopefully you can see that now. Start off, we'll just go in the right order. The first one is from Brandon Turner. You know him from Bigger Pockets. I remember when Brandon Turner joined Bigger Pockets and he took over the blog post back when I was blogging for Bigger Pockets. He was the person I interacted with. That didn't go well. He wanted to institute rigor and process and do's and don'ts, and I had a full-time job, a family, and it was just too much work. So my communication with Brandon back then was not pleasant. But this book, the book on real estate investing with no or low money down, is highlighted by lots of folks as a decent book. I personally haven't read it, but again, others have. Number two, that's probably my favorite book. Other than mine, which I don't include on the list, this is my favorite book, The Real Estate Investor, The Millionaire Real Estate Investor by Gary Keller. It's blue and white. I love the book for what it is, but man, I really enjoy the case studies at the end of the book where he's talking to different real estate investors about what they've done and all of that. It's pretty awesome. And if you're new to the channel, yes, I have an old puppy. He doesn't feel very well, so I'm trying to record this live and take care of him at the same time. So sorry if it's distracting to you. Number three, that's me. One Rental at a Time, The Journey to Financial Independence Through Real Estate. Again, to be on the list with these great other 14 books is quite an honor. Man, it's just pretty amazing. So again, love the fact that we're here. Love the fact even more that I think it's 334 of you have taken the time to go to Amazon and help me average a 5-star review. That's hard to do. Lots of people have 5-star reviews when their mom and dad are reviewing it, but to have 334 5-star reviews, thank you. I give and give and give. And if you've read my book, if you could give me a minute or so and add to the list, that would be great. Here's a book I haven't read, but I need to look at it. It's How a Second Home Can Be Your Best Investment. Again, haven't read it. It certainly supports the one rental at a time. I'm trying to help people go from 0 to 1. Hey, your second home sounds like 1 to me. So again, a book that is not, I haven't read yet, but something definitely I should take a look at. Here's one from Jay Scott, someone I've known back when he was just flipping it. I think it was 1, 2, 3 flip. It might've been flip 1, 2, 3. I think it was 1, 2, 3 flip. Him and his wife were in the Silicon Valley. They moved, and I've talked to Jay lots of times, met him in Colorado when we co-presented at a Bigger Pockets event, but he has gone on to do big things. I like everything that Jay Scott does. He does it lots of great stuff. Not only this book, he put out a book, I think recently, about investing in a recession that was just very well timed. Again, I love everything that Jay Scott does. Keepers of the Castle. Again, another book I haven't read, but should, from William Ferguson. It's more about the soft skills. And if you haven't heard me before, real estate investing is a people business. So I fully support the theme of this book and definitely have to read that. Rich Dad, Poor Dad, had to be on the list. It starts our journey. For me, it was about mental mindset shift and things I never thought about. But, no list about real estate can be had without real estate, without Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Who Moved My Cheese? Talk about a quick read. I remember reading this one on a flight and actually reading it on the way back. It's more of a business book, but boy, real estate investing has these things. I remember lending was easy, then lending was hard. Finding deals was easy. Finding deals was hard. I think Who Moved My Cheese? I think belongs on this list, and I think it was a great addition to the list. The Entrepreneur Mind, another good book, another book I read before I really got into real estate. It's one of those books that, again, I was like, I could see that being in this book. It's really about getting your mind right, putting in process, procedures, all of that stuff. Definitely something that I think warrants being on this list. Mastering the Market Cycle, number 10. Again, a book I haven't read. I think I've read other Howard Marks books, but I think I've missed this one. I could be wrong. I'm not sure if Howard has others, but I think that name is familiar. Again, market cycles are real. It was definitely key for our story. If you've read our book or will read our book, you will see that we got in, got out, got in, got out of different assets. And definitely market cycle is very, very helpful. I call it dancing through raindrops. It's pretty cool. How to Win Friends and Influence People. This might be the first business book I ever read. I think I was a teenager. And to be fair, I don't think I finished it, but I remember picking it up on purpose going, I don't have any friends. I should have some friends. Maybe I should read a book. I remember, I think it was actually at a library back when public libraries were a thing. Yeah, I think that was something I did. I wish I would have, I still don't have any friends. I wish I would have read it. That was a joke, by the way. I have a couple friends. The Power of Moments. I haven't read this book. Reading it here, definitely something I should look at. I do think, decision points, just little decisions, especially about finances, could set you up or take you back. The E-Myth. I don't think you can live in the Silicon Valley if you don't read the E-Myth. I think it's like a required reading if you're in the Silicon Valley. It's a great book. Again, a pretty quick read. I think there's several versions of it now. I like the original, which is here. Think and Grow Rich. Again, Napoleon Hill. I don't know if this one or Winning Friends and Influencing People was first, but both of these books I read, or at least attempted to read in high school. I do not think I finished either one, but they were I've read both by now, but I remember picking up both of these in high school and at least reading portions of them. And then lastly, Emotional Intelligence. This is something I did read. I think it was required reading for one of our QBR's, quarterly business reviews. It was a good read. Again, it just tells you what makes up, personal and, your personal mindset and things of that nature. So again, was a really, really interesting read. So let me stop this. So again, folks, those are the 15 books identified by Forbes. All of those books, again, the ones I've read, I recommend. The others I need to add to my list. Was such an honor to be book number 3 on the list of 15. So I wanted to put that out there. I don't think I've done a video about that yet. So there you go.